hard-hitting interview. Kamala Harris.
Happy hump day.
Thank you. I know I'm freaking busy tomorrow. Frig. Holy frig. I'm quadruple booked. Got a manners day tomorrow night. I have so much content to take in. Frig. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's start right off with some of the latest. This is Kamala Harris with Stephanie Ruhle, the woman who we named the podcast after yesterday, saying we're not electing President Perfect.
Yeah, we're not voting for perfect.
Right, not voting for perfect. Who said, the woman who said it doesn't matter, all that matters is you don't get Trump, so it doesn't matter anything. She now is doing the interview now with Kamala Harris, so we assume this is going to be...
very hard-hitting.
Yes, very hard-hitting, and it didn't really need to be hard-hitting to be bad news for Harris. Let's go through a couple of these.
Tariffs aren't unique to President Trump. President Biden has tariffs in place. He's actually looking to potentially implement more. Where do you come out on? Is there a good tariff, a bad tariff?
Well, part of it is you don't just throw around the idea of just tariffs across the board, and that's part of the problem with Donald Trump. Frankly, and I say this in all sincerity, he's just not very serious about how he thinks about some of these issues. And one must be serious.
One must be.
And have a plan, and a real plan that's not just about some talking point ending in an exclamation at a political rally, but actually putting the thought into what will be the return on the investment, what will be the economic impact on everyday people.
So there's one.
So mostly I don't know what the difference is between my tariffs and Trump's tariffs, except that I don't like him and I think he's a bad person.
He just throws them out there.
Yeah.
So
he's unserious.
We have the exact same policy, but his is like scribbled or his is tagged chaotically. That's why.
It's like when there was a travel ban for COVID, but he did it for racist reasons.
Right.
Expanding that child tax credit, or you mentioned housing before, giving that extra money for a first home. If you can't raise corporate taxes, or if GOP takes control of the Senate, where do you get the money to do that? Do you still go forward with those plans and borrow?
Well, but we're going to have to raise corporate taxes, and we're going to have to make sure that the biggest corporations and billionaires pay their fair share. That's just it. It's about paying their fair share. I am not mad at anyone for achieving success, but everyone should pay their fair share, and it is not right that the teachers and the firefighters that I meet every day across our country are paying a higher tax than the richest people in our country.
That's like the most BS debunked talking point of all time.
Is that Warren Buffett's secretary? Is that what's happening? Yeah. It's obviously not true. I mean, these people have stock dividends, et cetera, and all sorts of other bennies. So a lot of times, it's ridiculous. But first of all, to go after just being in that room with Oprah, the fact that she with gusto said they're going to have to pay more taxes, and
she didn't have an answer because. And this is the thing. This is why I think Kamala Harris is not actually very smart. More so than, that she's like a huge liberal or whatever, although she is, because that's what she's the personality that she's chosen to adopt. But the reason why I say I don't think she's very smart is because she didn't actually understand the question that was being asked of her. Mm-hmm. The question was, will you still do these policies that you can't pay for and borrow money if you can't raise the taxes to do that? The question was not really about the corporate taxes. Do you know what I mean? It was posing a hypothetical question. If you can't raise these corporate taxes, then will you still do these very spendy policies?
Right. And
right?
How are you going to pay for all this?
She did not literally understand that question.
No.
She got into an argument about tax rates that nobody was having.
Well,
firefighters shouldn't pay higher tax rate than billionaires. That wasn't really what anybody asked.
Yeah, but that's what Stephanie Ruhle gave her. Stephanie Ruhle said corporate taxes. So Kamala said, oh, see, so the answer is corporate taxes. Yeah, they're going to have to pay more. Absolutely. Which is the same thing she did.
Yeah, the question was if you can't pass the tax hikes how do you pay for it?
Right.
Not, are tax hikes good? Like, that wasn't. But some people, I don't think, can, like, follow a question. She just heard taxes on billionaires and was like, oh, taxes on billionaires. Yep.
Right.
Taxes on billionaires are good. Yep.
And by the way, the visual of this stuff is also not good, especially in the first question with the tariffs. She looked panicked when she was being asked the question. Here's another one.
Bill Gates just said it this week. If he was in charge of taxes, he would have paid more. But how do you find that line to make sure corporations are paying their fair share, but they're not leaving our country?
Well, listen, I work with a lot of CEOs. I have spent a lot of time with CEOs, and I'm going to tell you that the business leaders who are actually part of the engine of America's economy agree that people should pay their fair share. They also agree that when we look at a plan such as mine that is about investing in the middle class, investing in new industries, investing in bringing down costs, invest in entrepreneurs like small businesses, that the overall economy is stronger and everyone benefits.
The question was, Bill Gates just said this week, if he was in charge of taxes, he would have paid more. How do you find that line to make sure corporations are paying their fair share, but they're not leaving our country? I've worked with business leaders. We have to make sure. And those ones who are part of the economic engine, and there's something that she has, economic engine, they agree people should pay their fair share. The question was, now that we've all agreed, how do you find the line that these people are acceptable with?
Yeah.
Because
Steve from Merrimack says in the chat, I was raised a middle-class child. Exactly. She has answers. She's ChatGPT. She has answers in her mind of, like, words that go together. So she doesn't really understand the question. She just hears some of the words of the question and is like, that sounds related to this thing that's in my mind, and spits that out.
Yes.
She's not hearing the question, understanding it, and then creating a thoughtful response. That's not what's happening here.
No, but she was also out there today, and she stepped back into character.
We need to guard that spirit. We have to guard that spirit. Let it always inspire us. Let it always be the source of our optimism, which is that spirit that is so uniquely American.
Oof.
And let that then inspire us by helping us to be inspired to solve the problems that so many face, including our small business owners.
Is she speaking off the cuff, or is this a pre-written speech? Because does she not have... Did all her speechwriters quit because she threw staplers at them or something? Because that sounds...
I mean, that sounds... To use inspired 3 times is very Kamala.
We're going to be inspired to get help to be
Through our
inspired to inspire us to be inspired.
Through our inspiration.
Optimism.
We just need to move past the failed policies that we have proven don't work.
Yeah. Well, anyway, she is out there. People are seeing her. I do think that they noticed that they couldn't keep her hidden, obviously, forever. That at some point she was going to have to speak, and she's terrible at this stuff. The whole Oprah thing was a bad idea. Bad idea. Because it wouldn't have been a bad idea had it been a closed-door event.
Right, but the audience makes it tough. Because Kamala feeds off the energy of the people around her.
Right, but you can't let the rest of the world see this. You can't let the rest of the world see this love fest between Hollywood actresses.
Tommy in New Hampshire says she must have hit the speechwriters with cell phones.
I don't get it.
Because I threw a cell phone.
Oh, I see. Now I get it. Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's just. She's not.
She's a dummy. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think that is the problem. But even dummies.
She's got like good delivery, and she's good looking, and she's, she can like copy what like caring, thoughtful person looks like. Yeah. But she doesn't understand any of the stuff.
By the way, something we said yesterday is it's not because of us, but is kind of catching on. is that there's like almost no footage of her lawyering,
Yeah.
being a prosecutor. There's like you can't find it out there.
Yeah, people have been asking for transcripts of cases that she tried
Or like
anything.
any footage. California's a big footage place, right? The whole OJ thing was there. Biden was out there too, and he kind of knifed her.
And as vice president, there wasn't a single thing that I did that she couldn't do. And so I was able to delegate her responsibility on everything from foreign policy to domestic policy.
Oof. There you go. There's a parting knifing of her from him. But so there we are so far. We do have some. Is there anything more in Kamala that you want to talk about?
Not really. I mean,
Okay. There's somebody who you need to meet, Alice. We
Priority
quoted this guy
issues.
before, but we have not played him before. We quoted Harold Daggett. He is executive vice president.
no,
Dennis
that's
Daggett.
his son. His son Dennis is the executive
Okay.
vice president. Harold Daggett
Oh.
is the other guy.
Okay,
I
he's the-
guess it's his son. I just assumed that because
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
name, but
that makes sense.
Harold is the president
of the International Longshoremen's Association.
Mhm.
They are getting close. A week from now, they could be on strike.
Tuesday. I know.
Yeah, even sooner than that, they could be on strike, which could be devastating. Obviously, we've talked about this before. Alice found a video.
This is
He's
from a
perfect.
couple weeks ago as they were getting ready.
Daggett looks like the perfect union thug. He's wearing some big medallion too. That's the sound of water you're hearing at the beginning of this.
Well, they're the Longshoremen's Union. Got
I see. So, there's the logo. Dock workers working. Old pictures of dock workers. Union, good union. Striking workers through the ages. More montage.
it? The last time they went on strike was 1977.
More montage.
Almost 50
Here we go.
years.
As your international president since 2011,
Oh, this
I
guy's
have
great.
been proud to also serve as chief negotiator in the master contract negotiations with United States Maritime Alliance. Together, we have successfully negotiated a two landmark 6-year agreement. Now, as our current 6-year contract nears its expiration date on September 30th, there's a real chance we won't have a new agreement in place. We could be hitting the streets at 12:01 a.m. on Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. The shippers represented by United States Maritime Alliance might think the ILA won't go on strike. Let me tell them and all of America, the ILA most definitely will hit the streets on October 1st. If we
This
don't...
guy, by the way, Harold Daggett, he's got slightly darkened tinted sunglasses. He's got the goatee. He's got a gold medallion. I'm sure it's a Brotherhood Longshoreman, Honorable Meritorious, whatever it is. He's also got, his shirt is monogrammed. It has the Longshoremen's logo, and it says, "A force to be reckoned with." Jesus.
get the kind of contract we deserve. These greedy companies have made billions in the past few years, especially during COVID. We never shut the ports down during COVID. ILA members lost their lives when people worked from home. They went home and worked. Not my men. My men went to the docks every day. Up and
This guy is perfect. He is perfect. Especially.
down the coast to keep those ships going. That's right. And we lost a lot of them according to the virus. They died. And a lot of them got sick. But we kept going. And we kept going to keep these companies alive. Mark my words. We'll shut them down October 1st if we don't get the kind of wages we deserve. Container royalty, top-notch health care, and no automation terminals or semi-automated terminals. Hey,
Can you imagine this thug?
You can't even semi-automate
No,
it. You're
nothing.
done.
Nothing.
No
Everything-
automation.
Everything that moves around here needs a guy.
Yeah.
That's right. What was that even line? What is container royalty? Do we know?
I think it means they make money for every container
we
they
want a
unload.
cut of each container.
Mhm.
My God, especially.
and no automation terminals or semi-automated terminals. A good number of our ILA members working at the port from Maine to Texas have never
He just pointed. Okay, yes, he does have rings, of course.
experienced a coast-wide strike. I was around for the last ILA strike back in 1977, nearly a half a century ago. At the end of the 1974-77 contract, the hourly wage rate was $8.
He fought for better wages than that, I bet. I just got to see his other. He just raised his other hand, and I want to see if there's a pinky ring involved.
A good number of our ILA members working at the port from Maine to Texas
right-hand rings.
have never experienced a coast-wide strike. I was around for the last ILA strike back in 1977, nearly a half a century ago. At the end of the...
Damn it. Move back, Harold.
If we don't get the kind of wages we deserve, container royalty, operator terminal,
I just want to see
from Maine to Texas, have never experienced back in 1977,
Come on, Harold.
nearly a half a century ago. At the end of the
I know, it seems like a small thing. It means a lot.
1977, nearly a half a century ago. At the end
Okay, unfortunately, it's not a pinky ring.
of the 1974-77 contract, the hourly wage rate was $8. Let me tell you what we fought for back then. After a 2-month strike in 1977, the hourly wage rate increased 80 cents in each of the 3 years of the contract, so that the hourly wage rate was $8.80
How much
in
do you wanna hear?
1977 and reached $10.40
How much do
in
you
the
wanna hear
last
this?
year of the
I
contract.
just want to hear him talk about the West Coast.
Only after this strike in 1977 did the ILA earn and respect management, and hourly wages increase started to grow. Let me add this to you too.
Uh-oh.
We were out 2 months, 3 months. They started diverting ships from the East Coast to the West Coast. Teddy Gleason put a bunch of group to send out to California and LA.
Teddy Gleason. God rest his soul, Teddy Gleason. That's right. We shut him down.
I was in charge of that with Jimmy Cashin. Donald
Me and
Carson
Jimmy.
took a group
Teddy.
Freaking crazy. Imagine the federal time that some of these people must have done.
to San Francisco. What was our jobs? To
Crackheads.
stop the ships that were diverted over there, and we did it. We stopped them all. We got the people off the ships, we put up pickets, and that's the reason why we won that strike. And I want to thank the ILWU, Jimmy Herman.
Jimmy Herman.
He allowed us to go over there, and he told his members to honor our pickets. So that's what unions do, the solidarity between the two of us. And I thank Jimmy Herman every day for that. It was a long strike, hard.
By the way,
very
I
hard.
found this video in a Reddit forum. And the people in there who are all like pro-union and anti-automation all love him.
Oh,
and
I
think
could
he's
see.
the best.
He's the real thing. I mean,
Yeah.
this sounds like it should be.
They're like, this
it
guy's the
sounds like
best.
it
I
should
wish he
be-
was my union leader.
This sounds like this should be scratchy wiretap ranting by this guy as he's handing out envelopes of money.
Right.
He's like there's no veneer. It's all thug.
Yeah. Me and Jimmy stopped those ships.
We're going over there, and Teddy was there
Yeah.
too. And he's thanking them 50 years later to help him shut down the West Coast parts too. Holy frig! And the thing is that this could happen. I don't. I mean, how will this? What is it that we have? How does this affect me?
Well,
Will
everything
vodka,
we
will
buy,
vodka
that's-
make it over? Or Tito's is made in Texas, right?
a lot of stuff that we buy that comes over.
I
Like,
want him to
so
shut it down.
they're saying if they can keep it under a couple weeks, that probably most consumers won't notice a difference. But if he's gonna do it for like months and months, then yeah, it's gonna suck.
Isn't that amazing?
Not gonna come here.
It's like it's not a matter of like homeland security whatsoever that thugs have stopped the shipping people from bringing supplies in.
Yeah, it's just fine. Just
Those are our
because
jobs.
they want to have more stuff.
We'll stop your automation. And the Democrats
Yeah,
battle this thing. Like, literally, these people are making this. They're making everything way more expensive.
We're going to screw up the economy. Like, all the economists agree that this is going to, like, really hurt the economy. And by the way, it hurts a lot of other working people. Some of the videos you were sending earlier in the day is, like, other working people who work at these ports, truckers and, you know, people that do other types of work in the shipping industry that aren't longshoremen specifically. Like, they're all going to be screwed because everything's going to shut down. They're all trying to get in like extra hours this weekend because everything is going to close after Monday.
Amazing.
Like, it's all going to be done. And so all those other people's jobs are at risk. All the merchandise that's sitting out on those ships that's been coming over from China for weeks, and India and, you know, everywhere else. Vietnam is another big manufacturing spot now. Like, that's all going to be sitting there and not making it onto store shelves at a time when, I mean, especially Kamala needs the economy to, like, turn around. The fact that it's, like, fine with Democrats to, like, let the country burn so that thugs like this get paid more money is wild.
There is no way. There's no way the Biden administration allows this to happen. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, this should be...
Well, do you think... I mean, what will they do? Will they arm twist the ports to accept the terms? Because they also have to be, like, the pro-labor presidency.
Well, what I'm saying
right?
is, yes,
like,
they're gonna. That's exactly what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to tell the port...
Because they stepped in and stopped the, like, railway workers strike earlier in Biden's presidency because it was going to hurt the economy.
Yeah, they're going to try to stop this.
I mean, I think so, too. But, yeah.
They're going to talk to Teddy and Jimmy and say, yeah, whatever you guys want. We'll talk to these other people. And the people who represent the ships, I guess, those companies.
But, like, how can they say no automation ever? Not even, like, we're not even going to semi-automate any of this stuff ever. Like,
right.
to corporations with a straight face.
Well, the thing is that's how Biden panders to them. That's how Harris panders to them. You know, there's nothing that beats union labor, not some stupid robot. Even though at the end, of course, it's a consumer who's hurt that this guy's entire family is making $250K because only they can touch the pallets by hand. It's amazing. Amazing. Can you imagine being like at war with management in these companies, rich companies now since the 70s? And it's still gratifying? They're trying to screw us out of our jobs. And he literally...
You get to permanently have this job from 1977 until 2100 as far as they're concerned.
And yeah, they just have to work around you because somehow you thugs like own the ports now.
We're not letting the ships come in here.
It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and it's just such thuggery, and it's so refreshing to hear it. And by
it's
the way,
funny, even in that Reddit thread, like one person was like, "I do stand with labor, but I don't think they're going to be able to like stave off automation forever." And the comment was like super
Shut your pie hole.
downvoted. They were like, "I hope you don't work with the longshoremen."
Shut your pie hole, lady.
Yeah, it was like they were really mad that somebody said like this is not going to work forever.
Yeah, well, you know what Trump's going to do? He's going to side with the union.
Yeah, he's going to come at them from the left. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because from the East Coast, that's Virginia. That's North Carolina. Does North Carolina have a coast? It does, right? Does it?
Yeah.
That's North Carolina. I mean, it's other Sun Belt.
Savannah's
places.
a really big port.
Yeah, so absolutely. He's already got every place in Texas, I guess, but...
New York and New Jersey are really big.
Yeah.
Places where he's been doing a little better than he theoretically should.
And you're right, I saw on Reddit, too. They're all jumping in there. They're all making their own testimonials to these... all the brothers, including my friends over at the Parker House, Alice, Local 26, who are still on strike. But yes, we've gotten all sorts of contributions on Reddit from all sorts of Other union adjacent brave warriors, Alice. This one jumped out at me.
Buckle up, scabs. Me and Harold are getting ready to hit the streets at 12:01 a.m. on Monday night. I've got an inflatable rat, a Louisville Slugger, and a pint of Jägermeister, and I don't want to have to make a stop at your house. You bet us longshoremen aren't going to take no more of your shit after this weekend. You think you can just go around making billions of dollars without us getting a piece? These brave men and women have been laying their lives down on the line out there for you, while you were sitting on your ass collecting COVID checks. And do we get a fucking thank you? I don't mean like just saying thank you. That's for the birds. I mean like container royalty, free fucking healthcare, a measly 77% raise, and you don't get to automate a fucking thing. That's right. I don't even want you to bring a calculator in there, you little pocket protector asshats. A union brother can add up those numbers by hand, motherfuckers.
Jesus.
Yep, or else we're gonna shut all this shit down just in time for the election. Don't think you're gonna drive your little fucking ships around to LA either. Nope, Harold and me are heading over there, and we're gonna shut them down too. Not one ship gets into this fucking country till I say so.
Teddy, Jimmy, Donna. All these thugs. She's so freaking angry all the time. It's like this.
She's getting screwed over by the man, I think.
All these freaking always aggrieved. Don't sign nothing but your paycheck. That's what they used to say in the union, Local 26 in the hotel. Don't sign nothing but your paycheck. That said, at the hotel, I had some problems with managing myself.
Bet you wish you had a union.
Oh, that would have been perfect for me, because just file a grievance every time they write me up for banging in.
I think you technically have a union right now that you could join, don't you?
I think I might even be in. I don't even know. I don't. Nobody knows what's happening. It's between Mr. Soros and who knows what I've got now. Let's see. What else is going on, Allison? What else did I hit today that I wanted to hit tonight? Oh, here's an example, by the way. I thought this is great. Of the same thing with Harris saying whatever it takes, a positive. I've got plenty of ideas, all sorts of ideas. This is from 2020 with Don Lemon.
But people who are convicted in prison, like the Boston Marathon bomber, on death row, people who are convicted of sexual assault, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation.
It's fantastic. Fantastic. Should have that conversation. Absolutely. Absolutely. I also like, there's a great another piece of audio here. And MSNBC, they found union workers, and they asked them if they felt that their biggest issue at MSNBC is the union workers' issue.
And talk to me about your level of interest in the criminal charges and so forth.
January 6th.
February 6th.
January 6th.
So I remember that day. I know he was the standing president. I'm not familiar with the charges that are being brought against him for that. I'm not following that charge or I know there's multiple court cases going on. I'm just not familiar with it.
I mean, that doesn't sound like it's going to be a factor in deciding who to vote for.
No.
Okay, so when I say January 6th, what do you think?
Oh, I just remember seeing it on the news, like all the riots and stuff. Don't really know what it was about or what happened, though.
How did it make you feel when you saw it?
I don't know. I don't really feel any way about it. People showed their emotion, I guess.
That's not the
probably
answer
in the
you're
wrong way,
supposed to
but
have.
it happened.
That's not the answer they feel you're supposed
No,
to have
our
about January
very
6th.
democracy
Our
was on the line.
democracy was at stake.
Yes. It's just amazing.
That was the worst day in American history. I mean, bigger than 9/11, bigger than Pearl Harbor, since, I think, the Civil War, literally.
Oh, of course. Jimmy
So
Kimmel
you're
Gives
supposed
good advice. Maybe here she is with some advice. Molly, please.
Let's just forget it. This is his wife. I don't want to listen to this. It's terrible.
I do want to bring up one more thing that it's just fascinating to me, like these political pansies, like the people that work in DC and the media establishment and the politicians and the staffers of all the Capitol Hill people and whatever, and like they all go around doing all this politics stuff and saying, like, you know, we need to let felons vote because what they did isn't so bad. But they think, like, January 6th is the worst thing in the entire world and a huge threat to democracy. Like, they're fine with locking those people up and not allowing them to vote. But I don't know. This is a great story because it tells you exactly what they think, like, the worst crimes against humanity are. This is, this tells you, like, where they are emotionally. Political Patty's restaurant started to go viral before the U Street bar even had a chance to officially announce its opening. This is on U Street in D.C. It's online commenters mock the idea of another political bar in D.C. Okay, haha, like another. They have like the filibuster fizz drink and whatever. Like, I'm sure it's super corny if you live in D.C. They took issue with the logo in the front of the building that included a GOP elephant along with a Democratic donkey and questioned how the place could fit into a neighborhood that has gay bars. Yesterday, shortly after its opening, the sports bar of Political Affairs dropped the elephant and the donkey from its logo and painted over part of their name on the building's front sign. Soon after our logo was painted on our building's facade, we realized the representation of the red elephant was hurtful to the community.
Oh, beautiful.
Owners Andrew Benbow and Sidney Bradford said in a written statement to the Washingtonian, and out of respect, we decided to change the logo, removing both the donkey and the elephant. Benbow and Bradford are both native Washingtonians with extensive experience in government. Benbow is a retired Army Reserve officer and lawyer with experience in various federal agencies, while Bradford is an attorney who's worked in a number of civil service agencies. She's a Democrat and he's a Republican, though he told the Washington Post he's a moderate voting for Kamala Harris. We view the online backlash we've received to be mean-spirited, especially considering our original and continued intent to be a space that is welcoming to all people, including the LGBTQ community. We do not tolerate homophobia, transphobia, racism, or any other form of bigotry. As Black Americans, anything else would be antithetical to our very existence, the couple wrote in their statement. The owners say the social media criticism is that proof Washington needed a space to welcome differing opinions. Our business was judged by its outside appearance before anyone took the chance to learn what we were about on the inside. They do plan to keep the name Political Patties, despite initially painting over it. In fact, they plan to make the word political even larger and paint it blue to contrast with the red doors. They plan to keep the political vibe of the place. They aim to be a fun, inclusive space that pokes fun at politics, not the pain politics often causes, the owners stated. We will continue to strive to do better, and we charge you to do the same.
Oh, fuck off. God, can you imagine?
So everybody was injured by the sign. The sign had a little elephant on it.
We don't want to.
And it was harmful to the community.
We're sorry. The thought of a voting Republican is pain to you.
One of us is a Republican, technically, but not that kind of Republican.
No,
he's definitely voting for Kamala Harris.
Yes, not the donkey one. I mean, not the jackass. No, sorry, not the elephant one. No, we're good. We're trans. It's just amazing. What like freaking humorless these people are. Humorless. Allison, should we do the Clavin Hatch?
The Chat Chat?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. That's a Chelsea Fire Wicked Hotline Chat Chat brought to us by Chelsea Fire Wicked Hot Sauce.
All right.
I'm an old gold tooth, and I'll tell you the truth. I live inside the mouth of a homie. Take it down south.
I'm not familiar with that. Are you familiar with that, Alice?
Mm-mm.
Have you thought about getting gold teeth?
No.
I do have a very gray pronounced filling here. One of Dr. Dan's fillings out.
I did watch, for a while in college, me and my roommate were into watching all the different, like, dating shows. Mm-hmm. And there was the Flavor of Love that featured Flava Flav. And they were into wearing grills on that show. Yeah,
I remember him telling Bridget Nielsen, he goes, "Yeah, I want to give you a baby." I thought, maybe you shouldn't take him up on that, Bridget. I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. He might be a great guy.
He does have a lot of kids.
Does he? Oh, good.
With various people, yeah.
So do you.
Mm-hmm. True.
I love this country. This country that I love. I live in this country that I love because I love it in this country.
You have to be nodding your head the whole time.
Mm-hmm. A little more emotion.
Country
where I live because I love it.
Which we love.
And I live to love my country. And that is why this is just, I told you guys, the more she's out there, the more she's forced to be out there, the fewer votes she's getting. Don't believe any of the polls. It ultimately comes down to the economy. That is absolutely it.
I hope
Longshoremen gonna win it for Trump.
You know, imagine that. I'd have no problem with that whatsoever.
Do you think, how long do you think the left would still back the Longshoremen's union if Trump supported them in their strike?
Not long. No.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
Tom, cranberry lime seltzer
Yes.
from Polar is gay?
Yes.
Let me tell you something, buddy. Why don't you go suck down, and I do mean suck down, another banana-flavored Happy Dads. You queen! Oh.
That is incorrect. Incorrect. Alice, do I have homosexual proclivities? Alice?
I mean, like, sexually?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
You like women.
There you go. See? This is a woman, this is a big testimonial.
We have 5 kids together to prove it.
Big testimonial.
Don't challenge him. He'll have another one. Just to
big
prove
testimonial
it.
right there. Dare you go after my Happy Dads. You ready, Alice?
I'm ready.
So now that you work for Soros, do you have to like have a meeting with him for all your new talking points?
Oh, the kid, Alex. Oh. Do I have to stand there like Tim Walz, who has like this weird submissive stance with him? Tim Walz also, Alice, also no homosexual proclivities, you know. Alice? Thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. You go up to the Death Star. It looks like Palpatine. I can't help it. I am the Senate. But seriously, Tom. I don't know what you're gonna do.
I
think of the family too. I don't know.
Oh, well, Mr. Soros has done some great things globally, which I am 100% behind. I have been eating a diet of just bugs recently, so that's fine.
Morgan in the chat says that the
Skywalker.
manly beers go straight to your hips.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And Steve from Merrimack says you kissed a man.
That is
And Tommy in New Hampshire says with tongue.
That is incorrect. That was Paul. That was at Sporters. I did not kiss him. I allowed him to kiss me.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, that's also, taking one for the team, because my straight friend was with me there, and he was getting free beers out of this too.
Dave from Florida says you're basically Julian from Less Than Zero, which I don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah. That's I think that's James Spader's character from Less Than Zero. Is that, or was that McCarthy? Spader, right? Because he ended up sleeping with. No. Spader was the guy who made Downey sleep with him. Less Than Zero was a very 80s movie, Alice. A very good soundtrack, including Inagata Davida, cover by Anthrax, I think, and the Bangles doing Hazy Shade of Winter. But yeah, I forgot exactly. Oh, Jamie Gertz was in it. Very cute. Everybody was in it. Okay, hold on, Cyril. Hold on, buddy. We'll be right there.
So I guess I got to be the one to talk about this Caitlin Clark thing that happened a few days ago. The Najee Carrington of the Mercury.
No, I think she's with
basically assaulted Caitlin Clark on the court. It was clearly a non-basketball move.
Yeah, she swiped her eye.
She's got these ridiculously long fingernails, and it doesn't even look like a basketball move. It's just like she's swatted and then bent her fingers and then like clawed her eye.
That's crazy.
She could have blinded her. Why do women in the WNBA have long fingernails?
This is the chick from the Mohegan Sun, I think. I think I interviewed her at WTIC 2 years ago. And I'm pretty sure that's her. And I was pronouncing her name wrong. And she was like attitudinal about it. She's a jerk. Yeah. No, I'm not surprised. This whole thing is...
Why do they hate her so much?
Because she's really good.
I think that's problematic. Like talons? No.
Yeah, I would say so.
Plus, it doesn't help that Caitlin Clark's enforcer, like a goon, like they have in hockey, is dating this same woman who nearly blinded Caitlin.
Wow.
At least I seen Christine Brennan ask her about this attack on the court. No suspension, nothing.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Not a zilch.
It's also, by the way, very uncomfortable and just a bad look altogether for just culture, what we're doing here. It's like, come on.
So my friend and his husband are getting a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
He claimed he was telling me that it was amicable, like everything's all good, but deep down I'm like, I kind of want to know the details. I really do.
Spill the tea.
I just love like gossip and just all the nastiness of it all.
Yeah.
But it makes you think, if a gay couple can't make it in this world, I don't know. Hell, drunken out of his mind Tom Shattuck and his wife, they can make it. And nobody knew clearly what was going on there, and it's really nobody's business. Even though there's been people speculating. But I don't know.
Were we drunk? I don't think so. When we fought 2 years ago? I don't think so. Was that 2 years ago?
I think he means the old divorce.
Oh, the old... Okay. Technically, what you saw was unslept. And then I shut it down and walked to Newburyport. And then subsequently, yes, drunk. That absolutely applied once I got into Newburyport.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
I don't want to be a jerk, but I agree with a message that Katie's husband from Winchester left, I think last week.
Carrie's husband.
Regarding a certain listener. We are being inundated every day now, sometimes multiple messages a day, with Steve from Gloucester.
Ooh.
And let me just tell you something. He left a message after Katie's husband left a message where he siloed all of the chat callers. Steve from Merrimack's funny.
Yeah.
Justin is so-and-so. Dr. Cheswick is so-and-so. Yeah, allow me to silo Steve from Gloucester. His new nickname is the Oracle of Conventional Wisdom from Gloucester. There's never been more uninteresting political takes left on the chat daily
what a vicious
than by this guy. And by the way,
yes,
he also said a long time ago, I backed Katie's husband up. He wasn't going to appear on the show anymore.
Correct.
And now he's trying to weasel his way back onto the Minahan show, where Kirk does nothing but denigrate Tom.
Yes, correct. Thank you, Steve.
Man, this is not worth $25. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. What's $25? Is that what?
That's one of the Patreon.
Really,
tiers.
Steve? Damn. That's great. Thank you. Do I see that money else? Yes. We are Steve from Gloucester's.
We use the store down the street to turn that money into happy debts for you.
Oh, I see. Steve, really, thank you. That is fantastic. My goodness.
Thank you so much. Wow, comments in the chat about Steve from Gloucester.
Piling on.
Yeah,
apparently, I'm on Minners tomorrow night. There's going to be some talk about that as well. It's going to be a tough one. By the way, it's funny. Well, forget it. You'll see tomorrow night. I'll be on Manners tomorrow night if you're listening to that stuff. Because I don't know why I was asked, to be honest. I like Manners. But, like, I'm out of favor with the namesake of the network. But I'll have fun. But we announced we will be fresh off of a GOP mixer, by the way. A town mixer.
I think I'll then be picking up our son from Boy Scout.
Oh, Steve should know about that. Can he go?
Yeah.
Steve, you should go.
Okay.
He's on Instagram. We'll get him over.
Thanks so much for listening, everybody. If you want to join us in the chat, that's on Patreon. That's also where all the live streams are. We'll try and live stream tomorrow for everybody if we can fit it in between everything. Otherwise, birdbarrelpodcast.com.